Christina Rosales, Deputy Director, Texas Housers. Please come up. It does say oral testimony, and it says that you oppose the bill. And we're fixing to find out why. Please state your name.
A little short here.
You can remove your mask if you like.
That would be more comfortable. Thank you for having me. My name is Christina Rosales, and I'm Deputy Director at Texas Housers, a fair and affordable housing advocacy organization. And I'm testifying against SB 591, the committee sub, as written. It's clear, Mr. Chairman, that you and several other lawmakers believe in the need to amend Section 303 of the Texas Local Government Code. Media stories and a report by the UT Law School have conveyed how few checks and balances there are in the use of this exemption. The truth is that this exemption leads to tens of millions of dollars of foregone state and local revenue in exchange for few public benefits. The committee substitute sets out essential provisions such as prohibiting voucher discrimination in PFC developments, requiring compliance audits and reporting, as well as upholding certain tenant protections. Texas Housers supports these changes. However, as written, the committee substitute applies affordability targets only to PFCs sponsored by housing authorities rather than all developments, which can be sponsored by cities or counties. In other words, there are two separate sets of rules for PFCs, and if private developers have a choice about who they will partner with, chances are they'll choose cities or counties over housing authorities because they stand to make more money, to profit more from those developments with fewer affordability targets. The argument in favor of this exemption is that it creates affordable housing for Texans. That was its initial purpose. The law currently requires that half of all units in a development be affordable to families making 80% of the area median income, not adjusted for family size. This means that those apartments can meet that requirement by serving one-person households that essentially make 100 to 115% of the area median income. In most places in Texas, 80% of area median income rent is market rate housing. According to an analysis by the National Low-Income Housing Coalition, Texas produces sufficient units affordable to families at 80% area median income and 100% area median income. There is nowhere near enough units for families making 50% AMI. The folks at this income level are essential workers, people working at HEB, the kids taking care of my kid at daycare, nursing assistants. For every 100 of these Texans, there are about 50 affordable homes available to them. And then at 30% of area median income, there are 29 affordable units. The folks at this level are older adults, people with disabilities, people on fixed incomes. There are only a handful of counties in Texas that have enough affordable housing for people who need it most. The continuation of precious tax subsidies to businesses that build market rate and even luxury housing is poor governance, and it has a direct impact on our state's public education resources. It's incumbent on our lawmakers to ensure that we are all good stewards of public resources, as well as that when we do provide tax breaks, we can be sure that it is of great public benefit.
I need you to wrap it up. You're already over
I'm done. Thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you very much. Any questions, members? This witness? Senator Eckhart?
What would be your suggestion for amending it so that it's good for the goose, good for the gander?
I would amend it to say that all of these affordability targets apply to every single PFC. And I would also say that the affordability target should be at least 20% at 60% AMI, adjusted for family size for every development.
Apply to all PFCs, and what was it, median family income, 20% of?
20% of the units affordable to 60% AMI.
20 at 60, okay.
At least.
Any other questions?
Just a quick comment, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Bettencourt?
There's already two separate statutes that are already on the books at this point, true?
That's true, but I will say that the original intent of this 2015 amendment, it was HB 2679, and it was described as just a cleanup bill to clarify those two different statutes. And it was introduced, the way that it transfers this tax benefit to private entities, it was introduced on the floor back then in order to say, in order for nonprofits to benefit and pass along this exemption to nonprofits, what has ended up happening is that it goes to for-profit entities.
And you're absolutely right, and because we've actually studied that, and that was what was said on the floor. Unfortunately, that was not what the actual amendment did. And we have at least one county that has nearly $500 million of property tied up in this, and that's really what the intent is. And we're trying to work within the two statute rule right now and bring the stakeholders together. So I appreciate your comments, but I just want to make it a point to the audience that the two sets of rules already exist. Thank you.
All right, any further questions? Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Next call up, Nathan